What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got a lovely new Transformers TCG character card. Well, it's at least half a character at least. Now, I will say, I'm not entirely sure where this one came from. I just went and had a look at the updated, the gallery of characters on the official Facebook group, and Raiden Needler's just sitting there, just being like, yo, what up? So I might have missed the reveal, or it might have just been popped into the gallery. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't really care. I want to have a look, because I think it's really, really quite good. So what we have here is a 7-star Battle Master, and we've got 3 attack, 10 health, 1 defense. Lower stats than we'd like for a 7 cost, but do remember that these Battle Masters do tend to have lower stats, so you know what? I'm going to allow it. It's a melee character. Melee's quite nice. It means we've got access to fun stuff like body armor if you want to get really, really tough, or power sword if you're fancying getting really, really bold. But if your opponent wants to repair, they're out of luck, because Raiden Needler reads enemy characters cannot be repaired. Now this is cool. This is really cool. Because we're starting to get more and more silver bullets to particular strategies in the Transformers trading card game. Now, in giant tournaments, it doesn't work quite so well, because you might end up against any number of people playing any number of things. But in littler tournaments and at your local game shop, all of a sudden it's much, much easier. Because you kind of know what's going on. And you know the kind of cards that people are likely to be playing. So let's take Private Turbo Board as an example. Your opponent cannot play more than 2 cards during their turn. So now we're just stopping them playing extra cards. That's quite nice. Back in Wave 2, the one that really started this, we had 2 as it happened. We had Acid Storm that stopped your opponent being able to use Bold. And then we had Warpath that stopped your opponent being able to use Tough. And they were the first kind of silver bullets that we had. We've not yet had something, and unless I'm wrong, please correct me in the comment section if I am, that is a silver bullet to repairing. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, now we absolutely do. And this is interesting. Now, obviously, when we look at repairing, we've got the usual kind of things. We've got Medic. Great card, heals 2. That's quite nice. Or Repair Bay, that heals 1 from everything. And we've seen a bunch of lists, but really, when we're talking about repairing, it's Ratchet. At least Ratchet is my first response when we talk about this. You see, Ratchet really works beautifully with the whole repairing thing. You start in alt mode and you get to reveal a medic from your deck and put it into your hand. And then when you flip over into bot mode, when you repair damage, you get +1 attack until the end of turn for each damage repaired. Okay, that's pretty awesome. So, good character, but I think it's fair to say one that very, very much revolves around healing, repairing. That's kind of the point of it here. That's what this does. It's a repairing character. So all of a sudden, if you chuck out a character that goes, oh yeah, you know that repair... No, you're not allowed. You're just not allowed to do so. That's going to make a big, big difference here. Similarly, there's going to be plenty of decks that don't use repairing. And for those, yeah, okay. You're not doing very much. You don't have a silver bullet. Well, I suppose you do have a silver bullet, but you have a silver bullet to a strategy that your opponent isn't even using, which is, well, let's say less than ideal. But then again, this is a really nice sideboard character. Put it in your sideboard, and then if your opponent wants to heal, you can bring this out of your sideboard, and if they don't, you don't. But when it gets KO'd, it turns into Steel Bite Incisor Mask. An upgrade armor. Now remember, it's only in this set we started getting Battle Master armor. And what it does is it gives you +2 defense and Pierce 2. I like both of these things. I think both of these things are pretty gosh darn nice. Now the +2 defense is fine. I mean, to be fair, right? +2 defense is quite good. One of the ways we can tell this, if we go back and have a look at Blast Shield from back in Wave 1, Blast Shield gives you +2 defense, and it's so good, it falls off at the end of your turn, or it falls off when you defend. If you defend twice in a turn, it actually falls off after the first one. You don't have it for the second attack. So I like this. +2 defense is pretty gosh darn strong. The only other proper Battlemaster armor, I know we've had some weaponized but leave them for the second, was Private Vanguard that turned into anti-ballistic turret helmet, and that also gave you +2 defense. Now it also came in as a 5-star character, not a 7, so it is a bit more expensive, although while we're here it's really worth pointing out that sometimes being 7 can be better than 5, because Peace Through Tyranny. Peace Through Tyranny, and I'm not the first person to mention this, right? It's a fairly common thing to do, or at least a common strategy to try. Double orange icon, good for attacking decks. You may KO one of your characters with 6 stars or more and then take an extra turn. So you basically KO one of your Battlemasters, use it straight away, and then get an extra turn. You can do that with a 7-star character. You cannot do that with a 5-star character. So, very much worth bearing in mind. So we like the +2 defense, a +2 defense is good. And then you get Pierce 2. Well, Pierce 2 guarantees that you do 2 damage, as long as your attack is 2. Remember, if your Pierce is higher than your attack, you guarantee your attack. But if your attack is higher than your Pierce, you guarantee your Pierce. So you're guaranteeing a little bit of extra damage here, and maybe you just do it against defensive decks so a little bit slips through, or maybe you use this as an armor and you combine it with Piercing Blaster, and really just get a whole bunch of Pierce going on. Get Pierce 5, have some fun. If you really want to go nuts, maybe you play it with 6 gun, and use Anti-Gravity Cannon. Pierce 6. Of course, that's also 17 stars, so your only other one being 8-star. Just saying it's out there as an option. My point is, you can add on a whole bunch of Pierce if you like. It will add up, and it will potentially give you some very nice options going in. In a defensive Pierce deck, and defense and Pierce do go very well together, I can see some reasons for playing this. I can see some advantages of this. Because the +2 defense works with that strategy, and the Pierce 2 works with that strategy. I'm not sure how much I love it as a Battlemaster. Now, that is not to belittle it or to say anything bad about it, but for 2 stars left, I can have Anti-Ballistic Turret Helmet, which gives me the same +2 defense, but when I put it on a character, I do 1 damage to a tapped enemy. Now, that's 1 damage once, but there are going to be plenty of times I would rather have that. I really do think the best thing about Steel Bite and Sizer Mask and Raider Needle is that it stops your opponent repairing. In that regard, it is a phenomenal card. Now, the thing to remember about Battlemasters is that once they're KO'd and turned into an upgrade, and then removed, they go to the KO area, but they can actually be gotten back using Quartermaster. But once they've turned into an upgrade, as the game stands at the moment, and we don't know if this will change in the future, but as the game stands at the moment, that's it. They're gone. They are not coming back. It's over. And at the end of the day, this is 10 health, 1 defense. And you can try and keep it untapped to protect it, and there's other ways to try and get around it, playing something like a Stealthiness, for instance. But the fact of the matter is that sooner or later this is going to go down, and even against decks that are dead set on repairing as much as possible, they can just take down Raider Needler and then go about their repairing. Now, maybe you stop them repairing for long enough that it's still a bonus for you and you still win, etc. But there is that to consider. They can just try and go after Raider Needler at the earliest opportunity. I adore it for the bot. I don't mind the Battlemaster, but the problem is we got so many Battlemasters now between Wave 3 and Wave 4 that they need to really be something special, and I'm not sure if this particularly counts. But then again, maybe you are. So, let me know in the comments section. Give me your reasoning. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter @TheWossy, where we can talk about all kinds of games. Transformers, obviously, but a whole bunch of others as well. And do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, etc. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.